Hi, my name is Brad Henderson. I'm the instructor for the graphic design course, which is ART 2163. First of all, I'd like to thank you for taking my course, and I sincerely appreciate your interest and desire to learn a little bit more about graphic design. This course is going to be divided into two different sections. One section we will be learning about bitmap editing, and the second section we will be learning about um, vector images. The difference between the two is that a bitmap image is a image comprised of pixels. So these are standard images that you might find on the web, whether they're JPEGs or bitmaps or GIFs, PNGs. These are all file types that are examples of a bitmap image. A bitmap image uses pixels to comprise the entire image. So you have a series of little dots that make up one image. The other type of image that we're going to be working with and manipulating is a vector image. The vector image is a image that is created from a mathematical curve, an equation, if you will. And what makes a vector image so nice is that because it is a mathematical equation that comprises up the colors and the images that you see, it can be scaled, meaning you can blow it up and you can shrink it down, and it stays consistent. It doesn't become grainy and pixelated. If you do that with a bitmap, it becomes pixelated. It becomes kind of choppy looking. I'm sure some of you have seen this, experienced it firsthand. You go on the internet, you grab an image, you get an image off the web, and then you blow it up, and suddenly things become all boxy and pixelated. That's because it's a bitmap, and when you blow it up, you have to the computer has to put pixels into that image to make it come out to that size. A vector image, on the other hand, can be increased, shrunk, whatever, and it's always going to look the same because it's using uh, a curve to create the colors and the lines and everything that you see. That's the easiest way to describe the difference between the two. And for the sake of this class, that's really the most important part of bitmaps and vectors that you need to understand is the difference between the two. One's made of pixels, bitmap, and one's made from a mathematical equation of curves. So, that said, we will be using a couple of different software packages, and the software that we will use for this course are entirely free. These are going to be software titles that you can download yourself on your computer and use them. If you have problems downloading them, you can download them from here on campus, or you can also come to the campus and use any one of the computers in the computer lab located in the Library Administration Building, room 213. Once more, that's the Library Administration Building, room 213. I have asked that they install the software that we're using on those machines in that lab. So if you want to come here on campus, if you have any questions, you can always come to my office. My office is located on the first floor in Dyer Hall, room 106. You can come to my office anytime you like. You can send me an email. You can call me on my phone. All of my contact information is in the syllabus. If you haven't read the syllabus, that's what I'm going to ask you to do next. You want to read the syllabus after you watch this video. The syllabus will lay out the groundwork and explain how we're going to use the two different software titles to complete this course. This course will be divided into two sections, as I mentioned. One for vector images, one for bitmap images. Both of the software titles that we use are going to be accessible from right here on the home page. If you look down to the left of the screen, you will see the applications available there for download. So you can download those at your leisure there. Download them as soon as you can, make sure that everything's working, and confirm that, and you're going to be well underway. We will spend approximately 8 weeks on each application. You'll have a series of assignments that you will have to complete in each software title. So you'll have 8 to 10 assignments in GIMP and 8 to 10 assignments in Inkscape. The software called GIMP is the bitmap editor, and GIMP is a completely free software. Both of them are. They're called open source applications, which means they're not only free, but anybody can download them and modify the source, so you can get in there and make it better if you know how to program. The software title that we're using for the vector images will be called Inkscape, and those are both available right here on the home page, and you can access those and download them from right here. They are zipped so that you can download them. That makes them a little bit smaller and easier to download. Once you download it, you should be able to just open it up in Windows, and it'll ask you if you want to open it up, and you can open it up or you can save it to your computer and then install it. Either way, just make sure you get that installed on your computer. A little bit about these software titles. GIMP, the bitmap editor, is extremely comparable to Adobe Photoshop. Now, if you've looked at Adobe Photoshop and considered purchasing it, you'll know that it is an extremely pricey software, piece of software. If you have looked at Photoshop at all, you'll know that it's pretty intensive. It's pretty intimidating. There's a lot to it. You know, I read something one time that Photoshop is kind of like the human brain. Most people only use it to about 10% of its capacity. We're probably going to just scratch the surface on all of the things that you can do with a bitmap editor like GIMP, which is often compared to Photoshop. It's very comparable to Photoshop. The nice thing about GIMP is it's free, and you're welcome to keep it and learn to do whatever you want with it as far as bitmap editing goes. The piece of software that we're going to use for vector images will be called Inkscape. Inkscape is very comparable to another Adobe title called Illustrator. Illustrator is a vector image editor that is made by Adobe, which is very much kind of like their version of, or it's the Photoshop version of vector editors. Both of them are very pricey, but the GIMP and the Inkscape applications that we will be using are completely free and available for you to download. So go ahead and start downloading those. If I will say this, that both Inkscape and GIMP are extremely close in scope and capabilities to Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. What you learn here in this class for both of those titles will give you the foundation to get a hold of or open up Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator, and you'll be quite comfortable, and I have no doubt once you learn GIMP and once you learn Inkscape, should you want to start using the Adobe titles, you're going to be quite capable of identifying that, because they really look a lot alike. The buttons look a little different, but for the most part they have pretty similar tools. And if you can use GIMP, you'll be able to use Photoshop. If you can use Inkscape, you'll be just fine in Adobe Illustrator. So good luck. Please read the syllabus. Contact me if you have any questions. You're always welcome to come by my office at any time during the semester. If you send me an email or something and for whatever reason I don't get back to you in what you consider to be a timely response, please come see me in my office. I'm over in Dyer Hall. You can call me. You can come by. You can do anything. Send me an email, whatever you like. But my door is always open. And once again, thank you for taking this class.